Welcome to the second part on learning how to use core data. Now in the previous video, my battery died on me, so we are taking it from there. If you haven't already done so, make sure to check out the first video in the playlist. The link is down in the description. And today we are going to talk about fetching in core data. So I want you to hit that subscribe button and of course the like button, because we are going to dive deep into core data with Xcode. So let's continue where we left off last time. If you recall, my camera battery died on me, so I had to cut this tutorial in half. So make sure to check out that tutorial first. There's a link in the description with the playlist where you can follow along to learn all about core data. So with that out of the way, let's jump into the code and take a look at where we left off. Well, basically what we did is saved some data in the add view controller. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please do take a look at the previous episode in the series. Now in today's episode, we are going to fetch that data from core data. So what we are going to do is go into the view controller .swift file, and here we are going to take a look. Let's just go all the way up here, and you will see that there is a function called fetch. Yes. So this is where we are going to fetch that, and we are calling fetch on appear. So this is on appear. Basically, it's from Spark UI. This is called on when the view controller it did appear. So yeah, go ahead. If you don't really like to use Spark UI, make sure to build this out in UIKit. It's the same. You get the knowledge. What you will learn about core data, it makes sense with Spark UI or without Spark UI. Okay, so let's just take a look at this fetch function. Well, I really like not to kind of build all of that functionality. It will be a lot of lines here. So what I usually do is create an extension on the view controller. So let's just scroll all the way down where we have this mark. By the way, you go ahead and download the resources for this tutorial in the description. And while you are at it, smash that like button so the YouTube algorithm shows this video to fellow developers like you are who are interested in core data. Okay, so let's create our fetch tasks function, which we will use on that already created function. So I'm going to create an extension here for our view controller. Okay, and let's name this, let's say, fetch tasks. And I'm going to add in here a completion. Now, if you don't know about what completions are or how to use them, go ahead and check out the result type tutorial on my channel. You will love how completions work. So just type in the search Rebeloper completion handler or Rebeloper result type, and you will get that video. Okay, so completion, and that will be an escaping one. And let's just add in here these, and the result type will return. So let's just type out result here. And on success, we are going to return an array of tasks, and we are going to have on failure an error. So let's create our request first. So let request equals ns-fetch request, and that will be of type task. And yeah, this task is a model that we created in core data. So yeah, go ahead and check out the previous episode on that. And that will be a task dot fetch request. And all we have to do here is add a predicate. So if it's equals to completed or whatever, we are going to add in here a predicate for that. Okay, so let's fix this error. Let's just add in here this, and that should go away. So now we are going to add a predicate to it. We are going to talk about predicates and sort descriptors in the next videos. But for now, we only want to get all the tasks that are completed. So let's just go request dot predicate equals ns predicate. There we go, with the format. And yeah, let's just choose this first one with the format, and or rather, let's have arguments array. So format argument array. Okay, and this will be kind of yeah, it's a string, so you have to kind of learn all of this by experience. So first of all, let's add our key like so equals to our value. If you came from Objective-C, this kind of is familiar for you. And then we need to add our arguments array, which is of course an array there, and we have to use key path here. Key path, there we go, and task dot completed. So this is basically the key, and let's add a comma here and let's set it to false. I said that we are going to use the we're going to fetch those that are completed, but no, we are going to use show rather all of those tasks that are not completed. So here you can see this is the key equals the value, this is the key, and this is the value. Okay, so that's it for the predicates. You already know predicates. Yeah, and there are a lot more like equals or contains, or yeah, we will see that in upcoming tutorials. So finally, we want to go ahead and fetch this request. So that will throw an error, so we are going to do that in a do catch statement. And we are going to create the tasks because we want to complete with the tasks. So let tasks equals try, there we go, try and managed context. If you recall, we are always using managed context. We are not interacting directly with core data. And there we go, it froze. So we need to catch that error. And here we have an NS fetch request, which we already created. Request, there we go. And finally, let's just delete that pattern, and yeah, let's just complete. So completion dot failure with error here. And while we are at it, let's just go ahead and add a completion here with success dot success. And as you can see, it is asking for an array of tasks, which we already have. So yay, that's fetch tasks. So what we want to do here is go ahead and scroll all the way up till you can see this fetch. So this is fetched whenever the view controller appears. So let's just call this. So fetch tasks, and we get back a result. So result, and let's just go through that result in a switch statement. So result, and yeah, because I'm lazy, I'm just going to wait for xcode to autocomplete that. Like, not autocomplete that, it's throwing an error, and let's just fix that. Okay, there's the success and the failure value. Now upon success we get a list of tasks. So let tasks plural. And here we get some errors. So let's take care of the errors. I'm using something called alert from Spark UI, but you could just show a simple UI alert controller and show error. It's really easy to use this localized description. There we go. And here we want to set self dot let's see, do we have tasks enabled? So let's just jump all the way up here. No, we still have to-dos. So what we want to do here is change the to-dos and use basically tasks. So let me just comment this out, and let's have a var here. So tasks, that will be an array of tasks. There we go, and let it be empty. Okay, so now we have this tasks array, so we can just scroll a little bit down here, and let's add self dot tasks equals tasks. How awesome is that? Now we got some more errors because yeah, as you can see, now the to-dos is missing. So let's fix that, because now we don't have an array of strings to populate our collection view, we will have an array of tasks. So let's just start off with the number of items in section. So yeah, that is pretty simple. So let's go tasks.count. How easy is that? So finally, let's take a look at these two errors. And yeah, this is an array of to-dos. So what we want to do here is create a task. So let's just make some space here and let's create let task equal. Now this is pretty straightforward because we are going to grab our array and grab that index path dot row and just add the task there. Really nice. So how to deal with task? Yeah, now it's expecting a string. As you can see, cannot convert task to expected argument type string. So let's fix that because I want to have a string. So let's go to the collection view cell, and as you can see, it's expecting a string. So let's add in here task. Let's just copy this out and add this also here. And while we are here, let's just go ahead and fix this problem. So first of all, our cell currently uses random color, but the task already has a color, if you recall from the previous video. And the item is of course not a string. So let's just comment all of that out. So hit command and / and let's do that from start. So set cell background color all, and let's set this to our color, and that's the UI color. Okay, and finally let's have our title label dot text equals item dot title. If you recall, there's a title on that core data task. Here is the color and here is the title. Really nice. So now that we have taken care of our cell, let's just go ahead and go back to our view controller. There it is. And yeah, now it should expect a task. So let's hit Command B so we get rid of these errors. But on the did select item, we still have an error. So let's just fix that. So how do we get an array of tasks? So what we need to do is add in here, let's just comment that out, and the controller should have something called, let's just hit Command B there, so tasks, but it doesn't have the tasks, so let's just do that beforehand. So let's go to our details view controller, let's jump to definition there, and as you can see here we have to do. So what we want here is go ahead and create a task, and that will be a task. Okay, let's hit Command B. You can see if we have some issues here. Yes, the title here is to do. So what we want to do, we wanted to do is set the title to be the task's title. Okay, so that's it for now in the details view controller. I will get back soon enough to this view controller. So now let's hit Command B so we get that nice auto completion on the controller. So task, okay, equal tasks, and of course index path dot row. Really nice. So finally we want to push this controller. So self dot navigation controller, push view controller, there we go, controller, animated true. Okay, so let's hit Command B so we know that we made everything that we needed here. And let's just take a look at how this looks like. Select our iPhone 11 and let's build and run. Now I have deleted the app, so it's starting from scratch. Let's add here some stuff. Let's add a title like, let's say, yoga. And let's add a photo here. And let's set this to priority number 4. Okay, so what we want to do is build and run again. so we can see that the yoga did appear. We're going to fix that in a GP. Okay, so now when we tap on yoga, as you can see, a new view controller is presented here. And yeah, we will add in here some stuff, but what we want to do is when we click on done, we will be presented back. And yeah, basically what we are going to see is that this yoga just disappeared from the list. Okay, so it's kind of working. Yeah, we still have some issues to fix, but let's just move on. So once we did get that, let's just take a look at how we can grab this, rather, let's just refactor these tasks, because maybe we want to get a hold of it in several places. So what I usually do here is just comment this out and go into the service. So you will see a file here called service, and I'm just going to create a static variable called tasks. And you will see a little bit later why we do need this equals an empty string. Now let's just hit Command B and take a look at where those issues are. There we go. And all I have to do is call service.tasks. Okay, let's just fix this. Service.task. Service.task. Okay, so now this tasks list is available throughout the app if I want to yeah, just take a look at it. So service.tasks. Okay, how awesome is that? Now let's just take a look at the let's see here, the details view controller. That's right. We want to add a little bit more here because we want to have the done button finish that task. So first of all, let's see if we do have that task. There we go. We have our task. Here we have our done button. And while we are at it, let's just add a little bit more here onto the title. Let's add also our difficulty so you can see that, again, we did add that difficulty. Okay, so let's see here. Let's add a quotation mark and add that there. Okay. And here we are going to add the tasks difficulty. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now, finally, we want to go ahead and add, why is this? So string interpolation. Yes, we want to add a bank here. We do know that we have a title. So let's take care of our done button for now. So basically what we want to do is grab our task, which we have already here, and that is added when we are tapping on the cell of our collection view, and set the completed to true. There we go. So now we want to save the manage context. Again, in a do catch statement. So let's just see it try. There we go. And self dot manage context dot save. Okay. And on catch, alert, show error, localized description. There we go. So let's see if this works. So let's build and run here. So let's tap into that. Let's click on done here. And something went wrong. Yes. Let's just see the lines here. Well, basically what we have here is unexpectedly found a nil while unwrapping an optional value. And that is because we basically didn't add our manage context to this view controller. So let's go into the view controller, and here when we select our item, let me just make that real obvious. So we want to add the controller dot managed context equals self dot managed context. As you recall, we have managed context on our main view controller. So that should basically fix that. And let's just build and run and see if we actually, yeah, and we should also add in here that we go back, but let's just add that here. Let's go back. And we should also refresh. So let's do all of those little tweaks here. So first of all, let's just push away that view controller, and that is in the details view controller. And once we save the managed context, let's go self dot navigation controller pop view controller and animated true. Okay, so that should pop that. Next up, we want to listen if the tasks array has changed. So for that, in the view controller, if you just take a look at the top here, as you can see, we don't have a list of tasks. We have basically managed context, and that's just it. So what we want to do here is just scroll all the way down. So yeah, after a little bit of debugging here, I just found out, yeah, we need to reload the data on the collection view whenever we fetch our tasks. So let's just call here self.collection view and reload, let's see, reload data on main thread, which is again part of Spark UI, is just using reload data on the main thread. Okay, so let's just build and run and see if we do get that fetch. Okay, let's add new here. So run. Let's add a new photo. Choose a photo here. Let's choose this. Let's go and save that. Okay, let's tap on there. As you can see, run 4 is there. Let's tap on done there. Hey, it's gone. Okay, so that is really nice. Now, one final thing that we still need to do is in the details view controller. So what we want to add there is an image view here. So let's go into the details view controller, and as you can see, we have an image view. Let's just copy that out, hit Command F, hit Command V, paste it in there, and as you can see, it's stated 3 times. Now we want to grab that image and basically add it there. So add it into the image view so we can see the actual image that we added there. So what we are going to do is search for configure views, and here we just grab that data. So guard let data equals task dot image data. There we go. It's an optional, so we need to unwrap it. Else we just simply return. And if we do get our image data, we just set our image views image to a UI image of type data. This is the one, and data. And that is how easy it is. You learned how to convert UI images into data in the previous episode. Now you know how to convert that data into a UI image. So let's build and run one final time this time, and let's add in here like wash the dishes, and let's choose a photo for that, and let's see this one. I will add one here, or maybe 2, so we can see other colors also. So let's save that. As you can see, it's kind of orange. Let's add in here yoga again. Yoga. Let's add another photo. Yoga by the waterfall. There. Let's add 5 here because it's really important. You can see it's really nice. And finally, let's add run. Choose a photo, and let's choose this one. Let's add one here. Let's give, as you can see, all of the predefined colors are there. Now let's say I just did yoga. There we go. We have our awesome image there. And it's set to 5. Difficulty, let's get done there. And wash dishes, done again. And maybe run, done again. Now I want to take a look if all of this was persistent. So let's add in here like, I don't know, code. And let's add a photo here. And let's add number 2. Let's save that. And what I will do is just close this and build and run again. And there we go. We have our list of to-do list. Well, only one thing, and what you need to do is code in core data. So now we have come to the second part of our tutorial, and we have finished fetching from core data. Now, I want you to hit that notification bell because in the next video, we are going to talk about core data stacks. That's right, we are going to dive even deeper into core data. Now, while you wait for that, make sure to check out these videos as well too. I talk a lot about Swift UI and UIKit in general. And as usual, I will see you in the next one.